Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, and today we're going to be talking about a little bit of the new Invaders characters, and also a little bit about Rebirth. I want to go over a bit of the frustration I think that some people are having right now anyways, with regards to the amount of shards that are available for Captain America World War II. I need a better way to say these characters' names because, you know, it's honestly getting a bit exhausting, including World War II. War II Cap? I need a quicker way. Anyways, I also want to take a look at where my Rebirth characters are now, because they were the last big team, I guess, that came out, you know, where with newer characters that we had to collect shards for. And I kind of want to share with you where I'm at now, what I did with them, or what, you know, I did pull some core orbs, and kind of why I don't think that we need to kind of jump the gun a little bit for once. I'm not actually just, you know, saying that we, you know, screw Scopely, F Scopely, etc., 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 because I think that maybe some calm is needed with regards to this. Believe it or not, that's coming from me. So if you're ready to go, everybody, then let's boil this down. And I realize that my intro probably made like 0 sense about what we're actually talking about in today's video. But I'm going to start here. Okay, so I've upgraded my Cap to G14 and he's at 2-star. And, you know, I actually have tried and can use him in Doom Raid where I'm at right now at 3.3. I use him with Nick Fury, just the two of them with Cap Sam, Shang-Chi, and Kestrel. And the main thing is that I think we are expected to get a 3rd star on him on another event later on this for April, and so that's going to happen. I think a lot of people are just disappointed with how things are right now, that we only got 45 shards basically out of his preview event, whatever the hell it's called. Honestly, I'm forgetting things now, but I don't know if that's the end. You know, is 3-star the end? And I don't think that it is. And I guess we only have past data to look at in this sense to really understand why that is. And so for that, I want to bring up my Rebirth team a little bit here, and so that I can share with you sort of what's been going on with my Rebirth squad. Now, OG Cap and Winter Soldier aside, of course, because they're older characters, and you know, Nick Fury is an older character for the Invaders team as well. Captain Carter, U.S. Agent, and Agent Venom. Now, there's a few caveats here. We got 55 shards for Captain Carter from the 5th anniversary. It was kind of a weird choice, I thought, but it was good nonetheless, and it was good that it was a new character. I just didn't expect that to happen. That didn't really change my rank at all anyways. A U.S. Agent had a lot of opportunities to get shards for. He was the month-long for, I forget, January. January? I think he was the January month-long character, because I don't believe we actually had one for December. So he was Orbs, if I'm not mistaken. But he was available in lots of other ways and lots of other events, and so much so that even in the last couple of events that we've had from the month of March have included Rebirth characters as well. I think all of that was to kind of lead us to what was required to be used for this Captain America World War II event. So they wanted to have additional ways for shards. Now, one of the worst events by far was Agent Venom. Like, I think we can all, for those of us who remember, which was a couple months ago, that Agent Venom had a really shitty event. So much so that it required 400 to 600 power cores to get him at, even to unlock him, actually. I didn't even get to the unlock of him. The only reason why I have him is because I spent power cores to get him unlocked in the first place. I spent somewhere in the realm of 7,000 to 8,000 power cores to get him unlocked with 100-something shards. And then I ended up getting, I think it was 80 shards from the event, but not enough had I not unlocked him prior. But that did get me to 4-star. And I'm currently sitting here at 108. And now where did those extra shards come from? Well, you know, 55 from the strike celebration because they backtracked and you know, gave away those. So if you weren't counting that, then I would be at the 50 out of 130 range, which isn't too bad all things considered, because that's over a 4-star. And You know, had I not pulled the core orbs, I still would have been close-ish to a 4-star, right? And so there is that caveat there that I did pull for him beforehand. And so the whole point about this is that despite these events being quite terrible, and they weren't very good, Captain Carter's was a little bit of a mixture. Some of you guys may remember. A lot of the big complaints about Captain Carter's event was that you were spending gold, but you were spending gold to buy orbs, which was not spending gold to level her up. So you were basically blowing gold to open orbs, and then you needed to blow more gold to get her upgraded. So this was kind of frustrating. I wasn't a big fan of this event. I probably ended up spending more gold than I needed to get shards for him, get shards for her, sorry. And now I'm at 82 out of 200. I'm almost halfway. And this was completely free to play. Everything that you see here on my Rebirth team is 100% free to play. The shards, so the cores that I gathered throughout the months have been stuff that I have saved from Arena because I don't put those towards energy, really. I don't really refresh my energies almost barely at all. And even when the events call for it, I often don't either if the rewards are not worth it to me. So this is what my Rebirth team looks like after a couple of months. They came out in January, so about 2.5 months. This is basically 2 to 2.5 months later from when these characters were released. And I have a 5-star Captain Carter, I have a 5-star US Agent, and I almost have a 5-star Agent Venom. Had I not done the cores, I probably would have been at around a 4-star level. So this is pretty good. And so is this something that we can see coming for Invaders? That's the next question, I guess, right? You know, because those are that's the next raid team, and they're going to be very important. What we do know, though, for some of these characters is we're going to be getting a Union Jack of the month long for April. We were told by Community Manager Archangel that we could expect, at least by the time that their events are all done and all that stuff, that we would get a 3-star unlock and up to 4 stars on Union Jack because his shards would be available in other events as well. Bucky would be 3-star, Iron Fist would be 3-star, you know, maybe in between, maybe a half and half, maybe 150 shards, maybe 120, I don't know, and then 3-star on Cap. That's just to start. But based on what we've seen with the Rebirth team is that they are okay. It seems that they're somewhat okay with releasing character shards for these characters through other means. It may not be directly in their event itself, but it could be on future events. It could be on the passes. If I'm not mistaken, there is one upcoming, I thought, for US Agent. Is that the RTA? No, sorry, RTA. So there are other avenues to collect shards for these characters afterwards, in a bit quicker in that sense than they were in the past. So that brings me to one of my other points: farmability. Right, and we all decry farmability. It's really shit that they're not available permanently. I don't know why I scrolled up here. Let's scroll down here. And so my main point is that does the farmability matter? If you're able to collect shards for as much, if you're able to collect shards for these characters as you go through the months. Now, I will say one thing, that because farmability is an all-time low as far as how long a character goes before they're permanently available, this does create problems for people newer players who start and have zero access to that character because they missed it. And I guess, what can you do, right? In a hero collector game, at some point, it's too bad, so sad. So I would like, though, for them to aim in the near future to get that number down, that farmability number down to less than 6 months. Because very likely you do go 6 months or more before a character is permanently available. But as far as the character shards that we're seeing right now, that's the main topic of this video, is that even though we're seeing 2 to 3 stars in these character events, does not necessarily mean that that's going to be it, you know, for the next 2 months. That we may see drip drops of character shards along the way for various reasons, from various event milestones that may give us opportunity to get more shards for these characters beyond their initial. And maybe that's what their plan is, and maybe that's what their new agenda is, I guess, compared to what it was before, which was front loaded. Right, all of these new I don't know, whichever new characters that I don't know, I should have just... Deathlock, for example, I was able to get to about 5-star, you know, Bionic Avengers actually wasn't too bad. I've actually seen some drip drops of Death Seed, of Nemesis and Dark Beast. In fact, my Dark Beast is, over halfway to 6-star. Nemesis is halfway to 6-star. He wasn't a event campaign though, so that was a little bit easier. But in general, maybe we're giving them too hard of a time when it comes to the character shard availability. It is shit up front. I'm gonna give them that. It's absolutely horrible up front. And it would feel a lot better. Masters of Evil is another good example, actually. I'm going to filter that really quickly. But this is where they need to improve a little bit, because I don't know if the availability for character shards, specifically for Masters of Evil, who was the last kind of big team, other than Rebirth, isn't looking too good outside of Kang, and that's just because I pushed really hard in the event and I pulled Core Orbs. Absorbing Man's not at 4-star. Titania, because I think I got some good luck on my orb pulling, and then Moonstone. I did manage to, but I pushed really hard on that event. So, I don't know. Maybe we're giving them too hard of a time. Let me know in the comments down below, though, what you think. What is your thoughts about the character shards and this upcoming team, this Invaders team with the new characters? Are you okay with the shards being not front-loaded? Because I gotta say that how quickly am I going to be using my Invaders? I might be able to shove them into my Doomray team, but we're not getting the Invaders raid for like another month or more. So at this point, does it matter if the shards are front-loaded free-to-play or not? If you can wait a little bit, that's the whole point, right? We need to distinguish the difference between free-to-play and paid. The paid people are obviously going to be able to take advantage of this earlier on than myself or someone else who doesn't pay. And I think that's just something that we have to come to expect. And this is why this video is a little bit different for me, because normally I'm just like all about like, F-Scopely and all that stuff. But I'm trying to kind of picture, what's going on behind the scenes, why they've decided to go down this way. And maybe in the end, it's actually not too terrible for the player base, because inevitably in the next couple of months, we're probably going to see more drip drops of these character shards and get us to that 4-star level, hopefully. Because I think 4-star is a reasonable, usable level for free-to-play for characters. And I think that a lot of my characters that I have, especially over the last 4 months, have shown that yes, even 5-star is possible if you plan properly. So that's it, everyone. That's the end of this video for Invaders. And there'll be more, actually, because I want to do a deep dive about the Invaders stats. I want to talk about who's the best, who's the worst, what you should be considering, and especially if you're saving power cores like I am, which characters do you want to blow those cores on and for those 675 core orbs. So more of that to come this week. Some real content, not just bitching about Scopely. So until then, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.